Question 8 says, using theorem 6.2, which is basically the converse of the basic proportionality theorem in the NCERT textbook, prove that the line joining the midpoints of any two sides of a triangle is parallel to the third side. So this statement is basically the statement of the converse of the midpoint theorem, which you must have studied in class 9. And that's what this part of the question says. Recall that you have done it in class 9. Okay, so let's first draw a figure for this given situation. So let's draw any arbitrary triangle and let's label the vertices. So let's say this is A, B and C. Now we have to draw the line joining the midpoints of any two sides. So let's say that this point here D is the midpoint of AB and this point here E is the midpoint of AC. Okay, so I'm going to make these markers for this purpose. Now let's join D and E, the two midpoints. So we have to prove that this segment DE, this is parallel to the third side BC. And the logic to do this is very simple. The logic to prove this is very simple. We will just calculate the ratio of AD and DB, which will be 1 because both of them are equal. Similarly, if we calculate the ratio AE is to EC, that is also equal to 1 because E is the midpoint of AC. So AD by DB is equal to AE by EC, and therefore this segment DE must be parallel to BC by the converse of the basic proportionality theorem. Okay, so let's write out this reasoning as a proper solution step by step. So we are given that D is the midpoint of AB and E is the midpoint of AC. So this is what we're given, and using this we have to prove, using the converse of the basic proportionality theorem, we have to prove that DE is parallel to BC. Okay, and the reasoning that I described, now let's write it as a proof. So AD is equal to DB because D is the midpoint, and this means that the ratio AD by DB, this is equal to 1. Correct? Similarly, AE is equal to EC because E is the midpoint of AC, and this means that AE by EC is equal to 1. So if you look at these two ratios now, AD by DB and AE by EC, we find that both of them are equal. So AD by DB is equal to AE by EC, and therefore we can say that DE is parallel to BC by the converse of the midpoint theorem, converse of the basic proportionality theorem, right? Because DE divides AB and AC in the same ratio, therefore DE must be parallel to BC. So this is what we had to prove, D parallel to BC, and with this we have completed question number 8.
To learn more about how QMath can help you crack school and board exams, explore QMath Leap, a live online classroom program run by highly experienced and committed teachers.